Hello, human beings. It's Jeremy Parrish for a Gintendo stream representing Retronauts and the illustrious Greenlit content here on this fine Monday evening. And I am going to play Klonoa of, what is it called? Of the Valley of Wind? No, I don't think that's right. Klonoa Door to Phantomile. That's correct. Yes, it's a beautiful, wonderful, fantastic game. And I am very happy to be playing it again on real hardware on a beautiful television, and hopefully the stream also looks and sounds good. I don't see any complaints about sound quality, so that's good. Let's begin. Let's load. That's right, CDs. CDs, friends, they have a lot of load time. So we're going to jump into a new game and access the memory card. Let's see, this is a brand new game? Kind of. Well, okay, we'll go to File 2. And my name is, that's right, Gintendo. It's Gintendo because I play video games and drink gin, if you are new to this nonsense. This is not a Nintendo game, but Klonoa was remade for Wii, which is a Nintendo system, so it kind of is a Nintendo game. It's a Nintendo game on the wrong platform. It's on PlayStation. But you can't really blame them because, you know, everyone was jumping ship to PlayStation at the time. And anyway, I kind of feel like this was Namco's answer to Yoshi's Island and, what's it called? Nights into Dreams. There's some very obvious Nights references here, but the mechanics are very reminiscent of Yoshi's Island. So, you know, Nintendo already had Yoshi's Island. They didn't need extra. Anyway, we're gonna watch the very pretty CG intro. That motion JPEG. Mike Toole asks, is it cool if I drink scotch? And the answer is yes. Klonoa will not judge you. You don't have to drink alcohol. You don't have to drink gin. You don't even have to drink. Just enjoy the stream. Although, I'm not going to make it to the end of the game, but if I did, you would definitely want a stiff drink after you watch the heartbreaking ending to Klonoa, Door to Phantomile. But I don't think we're going to make it to the sad stuff this stream. Klonoa is trying to pull the Excalibur ring out of the rock, and yep, looks like he's the once and future king. I always knew he'd be wearing a Pac-Man hat, and that is the Will-o'-the-Wisp of the Lake, or something like that. Oh, someone pointed out that the fact that Yoshi's Island was not contemporary to the story, it was Yoshi, or to this game, it was Yoshi's story, but we don't talk about that one. This right here is a metaphor for Yoshi's story coming across the horizon of Yoshi fans. Oh, you wake up and it was just a nightmare. No, they're coming out with Yoshi's Crafted World. The horrible nightmare is over. No more Yoshi story. Anyway, so the little cat guy is named Klonoa. He is not a venereal disease. The little wisp guy is named Hoopo. And they speak in babble. Listen to them babbling. Rare would totally rip this off from Banjo-Kazooie, except everyone there sounds like they're inbred. They're all like, as opposed to, I don't know. I don't really grok imaginary babble languages for video game characters. I just know that I really hate the way everyone in Banjo-Kazooie talks. That's the important thing here. These guys are definitely not Shy Guys. They are totally unrelated to red masked enemies in Nintendo's Mario games. Please do not accuse them of such scurrilous things. I'm trying to line up that shot there. There we go. Oh, if only I were playing this on Virtual Boy, where those 3D elements would be so much easier to line up. thanks to parallax visions. But no, this is not a Virtual Boy game. This is a PlayStation game, which is why people have actually played it. Oh, dropped me right on a bad guy. I captured a yokel. That's good. Free to yokel, I suppose. Anyway, the main mechanics in this game are that Klonoa, like Yoshi, can do a little bit of a hover jump, but he can also do a double jump by, like, throwing dudes. He grabs them and they inflate, and there's probably a fetish website about that someplace. Anyway, they inflate, and then he can jump off of them and do a double jump. He can also do a little hover jump thing like Yoshi, which is why I said this is kind of ripping off Yoshi's Island. Not ripping off, but you know, paying homage. Oh, that guy, come back. Oh, I hit myself. Can't believe how sloppily I'm playing already. I haven't even had much gin. So yeah, this is a 2.5D game. Everything is made of polygons, except the characters who are sprites. There's this kind of 3D immersion, not immersion, but sort of a cinematic viewpoint going on. The sprites are a little hard to make out, but if you ever play this game on PlayStation 2 with the texture smoothing on, the sprites look way, way better. It's really weird. They become like very clear and distinct looking. Tengu Gemini in the stream says, I want Klonoa in Smash Brothers than anyone else. If you want Klonoa, you just gotta find the right girl. Okay, so there's important exposition happening now. And the old guy is dissing Klonoa for being a kid. Kind of looks like Wilford Brimley as like a rabbit. I think that's like an orange mustache, right? Yep, he's totally Wilford Brimley, the rabbit guy. So those blown out sound effects. Great stuff. Yeah, so this game came out, I want to say in 1998 in the US. And Namco had no idea how to sell it. Like, you've seen that ad that I was just referencing about how you can get Klonoa from the right girl. Like, this game was so not contemporary to its time. It's very, you know, everything in the late 90s was hardcore, 3D, gritty, grimy, edgy, angry, heavy metal, Trent Reznor, etc., etc. And this game was not. It's got, look at this little cute guy. Look at that. He's so happy. He's spinning a inflated monster on his ring. He's just gazing out happily at the player. And I have cleared the vision. This is one of the great things about the game. As you rescue people, the little yokel dudes in the bubbles, you add them to the title screen, to the map screen, the level select screen, and you slowly get better music. The more characters you rescue, the more the music evolves and upgrades. It's kind of like, again, Yoshi's Island, but who's gonna fault them for that? Come on over here, dude. There's probably a way to get over there, and I can't remember if this is it. Nope, that's not it. So I gotta get this guy over here. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Dude, get over here. Oh, I don't have the magic knack. Actually, maybe I'm supposed to come back around. I can't remember. Anyway. Oh, that's what I'm doing. Okay. Going down below. Wow, I'm not very good at avoiding those guys who are popping out of the scenery. The 3D effect here really plays tricks with your mind. Or with your eyes, or whatever it is I'm using to supposedly play this video game. So anyway, I was saying Klonoa came out around the same time as, you know, like Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and publishers were just really hard up in the US to sell these games to people because... Oh, that was not cool. I missed my egg. There we go. Like I said, these games were very not zeitgeisty, I guess you could say. They seemed very dated because 2D graphics, who cares about that? Mario 64 is out now. I am about to sneeze. Sorry. How do I turn this thing off? Okay, it went away. That was a close call, sneezing on stream. No one wants to do that. Anyway, so Klonoa does have, you know, 3D graphics, but it's 2D gameplay, definitely. Aside from the throwing stuff into the screen mechanic, which previously has been seen on Virtual Boy. And you get little bits like this, minecart sequences that surprisingly aren't hateful and horrible. That was just like a bonus. There was no unexpected jumps, no horrible gotchas. It was like the opposite of an actual 16-bit minecart sequence. They can be taught. So you can break open objects. Oh, really? Break open objects in the scenery, except those bubbles, the eggs, whatever those were. You have to use a guy to throw at those. Wow, my words are not working well for me today. It's been a long week, and it's only Monday. You get these really great vistas like this. Look at that. You can see down there. Namco really puts a lot into this one, and the music, of course, is fantastic because that's what Namco does. They do fantastic music. And this was around the time... Oh, no, I need a little guy to throw at that. Come to me, my egg-throwing person. There's no one around. Okay, I'll go in and duck back out and see if that helps. Yes, there we go. And that was 3 gems. Not really worth the trouble. So another game, whoa! Another game in this kind of 2.5D polygonal platformer style of this era was Crystal Dynamics' Pandemonium, which you may remember the first game had kind of an ugly visual style. Characters were not that attractive. And then for the second one, they were like, oh, well, it's the 90s, we gotta get edgy. So they made the female character all sexy. It was terrible. It was just totally inappropriate. I feel like there's something I'm supposed to do here. Something involving that guy. There's a reason he keeps flying out at me. But that's not it. That's not it either. Well, heck. I'll just keep experimenting. Alright. Whoa, where did that guy come from? Hello, little friend, are you lost? Oh, that's what I'm supposed to do, right. See, these levels kind of crisscross and overlap, and things that are in the scene or the background that you can't initially get to will eventually be able to make your way around to them, sometimes. Oh, destructible environments. It's like Half-Life, but a year early. Anyway, even Klonoa kind of underwent an attitude adjustment over the years. Some of his later games, he's a little more extreme with a different outfit. He's never like super extreme. He's always a cute little guy, but they definitely made him a bit less Warner Brothers looking, like classic cartoon looking in the later games than he is here. Alright, so let's see what people are saying in the chat. Aaron Chato says, kids around this time were into their Metal Gear Solids and their Twisted Metals. That's true. I was also into Metal Gear Solid, maybe not so much Twisted Metal. Oh, I guess I should scroll through here. And enjoy some gin before the boss battle. This guy is super weird looking. And even though you blow up Joker to death in this game, he still shows up from time to time in the sequels. There's not a lot of continuity in here, but that is okay because Klonoa takes place in Dreamland. Sort of. The land of dreams. Something along those lines. Actually, Square ripped this story off for Final Fantasy X. If you know the twist in Final Fantasy X, you know the twist in Klonoa. So this is where the weird guy with the galaxy on the inside of his body steals a girl. And then he flies off into the sky, like Ranma punched him up there, but he disappeared in a ripple as opposed to a little gleam of light, so you know that he flew up by his own choice as opposed to being punched up there. So anyway, if you are just joining, I'm Jeremy Parrish, and this is a Gintendo Retronauts stream. I am playing Klonoa Door to Phantomile on PlayStation. You are enjoying the beauty of an RGB out cable and an upscaler to see Klonoa in its original, glorious, chunky, pixelated 3D. Good times. I will say there's not a lot of the texture warping in this game that you normally associate with PlayStation. Right in the ass. That's right, buddy. And you get your obligatory running around in 3D circles. Oh, I missed his ass. Oops, my bad. There we go. I like that life bar of his. It's like a tube or something, a cylinder. This is a fun and different twist on the obligatory 3D ring circle attack. Oh, there you go. Got that. Okay, so we do get the rings, but you also get the ripple. So Namco is really pulling out all the stops. Right in the strawberry butt. That's right, pal. So tonight's gin is, let's see, Bombay Sapphire East, with a bit of Fever Tree Aromatic Tonic. When I say a bit, I mean it's like a 1-to-1 ratio. That's my recommendation for a good gin and tonic, folks. Don't believe the lies. It's supposed to be like 3-to-1 or 7-to-1 tonic to gin. That is just disgusting. Especially if you buy bad tonic. It's just like sugar water. Don't do that. Buy good gin, buy good tonic, and mix them evenly for best results. Scepter Sever says, what do you think about the PSIO? Well, actually, truth be told, I am playing Klonoa from a PSIO, so I think it works pretty well. I had it installed for me because I am completely incapable of installing hardware and doing soldering and stuff myself. So, because I didn't install it, it was done pretty well and it works great. I understand that it has trouble with multi-disc games, but I haven't attempted to use multi-disc games with it yet, so I suppose I'll jump that hurdle when it gets to, like, Metal Gear Solid or something. But for single-disc games, the PSIO is great. Not that I necessarily encourage piracy, but this is a game that I have purchased on multiple platforms, so I don't have a problem with playing it on a loader device. Whoa, look at those guys shooting things at me with the stuff. And this, you know, I've just been recording footage of Virtual Boy Wario Land for Virtual Boy Works, and I've got to say, like, this game is feeling very much in that style with the throwing things into the foreground and dodging bad guys as they shoot at you from the background, etc., etc. This game has been remade and reissued on multiple platforms, including PlayStation Network for like $6, which if you haven't played this, you absolutely should pick up the PS1 Classics version because it's so good. There was the Wii release that I mentioned. Like, this game is very accessible. Virtual Boy Wario Land, on the other hand, is not, and that's dumb. I hate it. Come on over, Spiky Boy. Come on. Let's go. There you go. So, let's see what's the best way to do this. Oh, right, I remember. It's just to hit that guy, the little guy, and then he turns into gems, and I'm wealthy now. Video games are like bicycles. The muscle memory sticks with you after a while. And it looks like I need a key. Someone in the chat just referred to the very large Shy Guy dude as an absolute unit, and I agree. Well, that was pretty straightforward. Usually you have to go on a quest to find a key, but this time the game's just like, here you go. I guess this game was a little on the simple and easy side. That was kind of, you know, by design. Oh! Not cool. I'm trying to remember, is there other stuff here that I can get? Yes. That's right, this game rewards you for going out of your way to find stuff. Like that. Nope. Come on up. There we go. Okay. So now I've done that. I'll use the key. Oh, whoops. That's right, I have to wait till that guy opens up. Then I can grab him. So one of the interesting things about this game is that it was designed by the same director behind the NES Ninja Gaiden games. Hideo Yoshizawa, I want to say was his name. He's a really nice guy. You'd like to meet him and talk to him, you wouldn't really think that he could be the cruel human behind Ninja Gaiden for NES, but he was. I had the privilege to interview him. Oh gosh, it's been almost like 10 years now. Jeez. It was back maybe like 2011. He was talking about the remake of this, and how it didn't really do all that well, so that's pretty much the end of Klonoa. And then he was talking about how Mr. Driller, the Mr. Driller series, which he also worked on, had pretty much reached the end of its life. It was a very kind of depressing interview. Like, the Ninja Gaiden talk was great, but the part about all the series you love are dead, that sucked. So that's why they say never meet your heroes, because they will tell you that all the games you love are now defunct. Oh, stabbed in the heart. Lame. So yeah, this is a pretty simple and straightforward platformer. Very much not the kind of thing that was, hip and cool at the time. Of course, I would call it simple and straightforward right as I die. But they really put a lot of love into this game. Like, you wouldn't know that they were working their way through obsolescence just by playing this. There's a lot of thought put into the graphical detail. The music, as I mentioned before, and as you can hear for yourself, is extraordinary. Oh no! And apparently this is the part where it gets really hard, so I guess I should start actually paying attention to what I'm doing. So I guess those little platforms are a lot easier to land on if I wait until they're rising, because they rise straight up as opposed to floating back and forth on the way down. So I'm going to toss that guy. Oh no! Alright. This is an excellent experience. Thanks for sharing this with me. Ah, these little gray guys with the shields are going to be the death of me. Repeatedly, over and over again, as you've seen. Alright, let's not do the same stupid thing again. There we go, look, I made it past the final boss. And I found a save point. That's what really matters. I think we need more games like this that have this kind of 2.5D effect and are made with chunky PlayStation polygons. You know, when everyone does like the indie game faux PS1 style, they always go for the 3D thing as opposed to the 2.5D thing, which is totally different and wonderfully charming. Oh, I missed out. There just aren't a lot of games that look like this. Even at the, during the PlayStation era, like, I don't think this game sold out that well, so you didn't see a lot of other games that looked like this. But the PlayStation was really good at this kind of visual design, where it's, pushing polygons, but not trying to be fully immersive 3D. Like, you don't get the warping and texture distortion in this that you see usually in PlayStation games, which is nice. Someone is making fun of my gaming skills, I think. Let's see. Mike Toole says there aren't a whole lot of PSX games like this one, like Pandemonium, yep, Einhander, that's another one. I feel like there are a couple of others. Tomba was kind of like this. I'm trying to think, what else? Yeah, not a whole lot. There were a lot of kind of behind the shoulder shooters. I think one in one of the Contra games. Actually, maybe one of the Contra games had kind of that 2.5D side-scrolling part in it. I can't remember. Didn't play them because they weren't that good. But of course, on Saturn, you definitely had, I guess, Clockwork Knight, Bug, Nights into Dreams, which this game is clearly patterned after. Let's see, on N64 you had Mischief Makers and Goemon's Great Adventure. That's about it. There just weren't a lot of games like this. There were some on PSP, but one of those is my personal nemesis, last said about any other. I feel like Mega Man powered up the Maverick Hunter X. Whoa! I jumped right into a line of spike poop. Okay, I see how that works. Turns his back to me. Fart blasts spikes. I feel like there's supposed to be a secret in that circle, and yet there's not. Very disappointing. I kind of don't want to talk though. I kind of just want to like listen to the music. It's so majestic, and this is the very beautiful waterfall. Yeah, even Klonoa is impressed. The stream is coming through in 60 frames per second because the high frame rate of this game really, I think, compensates for the fact that it's very sort of chunky looking, and the graphics are a bit on the low res side. There you go, you're dead. You can also use enemies like that as a weapon to kill things beneath you. Lots of very simple play mechanics, but lots of kind of thoughtful applications in it. It's a fairly easy game most of the way through, but then you get up to the final stage, and it really puts Klonoa's limited moveset to maximum use. And then you have stages like this, which look so much like something from Yoshi's Island. It's just kind of ridiculous. The game does nice little things, like, you know, I screwed up my chance to jump up to a higher platform here, but it does give you an infinite respawning enemy, and normally if you approach a low-hanging wall from you know, while holding an enemy above you, you can't make it, like it'll burst, but you can go the other direction because it's sloped, so the little guy just squishes down. That's great. You have to wait for this moving barrel thing so that you can jump up, and again you have the kind of squishy style. Oh, but then the spiky guy breaks the little friend that you're carrying with you. So, you know, I just really feel like they put a lot of care into the level design of this game, a lot of thought about how everything works together. And I approve. This is how video games ought to be. Lovingly crafted and extremely dated. And again, you have a chance to kill a guy below you. Oh! I almost fell into a hole there. That would have been really sad. Kill a guy behind you, below you, sorry, with an enemy that you drop. He's learned his lesson, he's running away. And that is just like the whale spoon from Super Mario Brothers 2. I really should actually try jumping over it as opposed to running. bunch of sequels to Klonoa on different handheld platforms, mostly. I don't think there were any... Oh yeah, there was the PlayStation 2 sequel, and then there was a weird volleyball spin-off for PS1 that only came out in Japan. Oh! But the handheld sequels were the ones that they really, you know, aside from the PS2 game, the ones that they really kind of put their heart into. And those were not 2.5D games, because you can't do that on Game Boy Advance or Wonder Swan. But they took the simple play mechanics of grab, toss, double jump, hover. They really pushed those to their absolute limit for puzzle games. If you haven't played those, I highly recommend them. Oh no 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 no! Oh, what was I doing? Oh, Klonoa, I'm very sorry I've disappointed you. The second GBA game actually did have some 3D effects. There's like a racing element to it. And it was kind of graphically impressive. Oh! A little bit weird. You didn't have boss battles in that one, you had just like races against bosses. What's wrong with me? But yeah, the GBA games were, what are they called? I think Empire of Dreams and Dream Champ Tournament. So if you have the chance to check those out, you should do it. I don't think they're too expensive, and they're available on Wii Virtual Consoles, so there's lots of ways to play. By lots of ways, I mean two. Oh no! Okay, thank goodness. Alright, so, let's see. I'm going to pause here. Actually, I'll just let you guys enjoy the scenery. Let's find some place pretty where I can look at the stream chat and see what's up. Somewhere around here, surely. Surely. Where's Shirley? Okay, I think I'm reaching the end of the stage. Or not. Okay, we'll enjoy this lovely scene here. What are people saying? Ronnie Caroro says, this makes me want to play Tobal number 1. It's the very chunky 60 frame per second graphics, I think, that do that. Let's see. The platforming reminds me a bit of Pandemonium. Yes, that is correct. This was very much in the style of Pandemonium. I mentioned that earlier in the stream. It was another game that didn't quite connect with its audience, I think. And so they changed up the style for the sequel in questionable ways. And those people went on to create Tomb Raider, sort of. And we have another absolute unit there. Oh no! Oh! Oh! Oh yeah, so if you just inflate those guys, you can't pick them up. They just turn really huge and sit there. But that becomes important for platforming later, puzzle solving and so forth. Because that is what this game is about. Oh, there's a passage that I missed. Nice. Did I miss it? Got it. Oh, Klonoa. Oh, well, there we go. That's one of those puzzle passages right there. But later in the game, you need to use those guys as platforms to be able to clear the stages. Here, it's just a few indulgence purposes. Oh, I missed one. Very sad. for Christmas. And we're off to the races, I hope. Switch, what a great idea. We should put this game on Switch. Yes, that would be great. Thank you, Nintendo. So it's been a long time since I played the remake of this. I remember it being very, very faithful and very nicely made. But there is something about the abstraction of PS1 era graphics, this kind of clumsy 3D that I really like the low-res textures and the extreme aliasing on edges. It's probably just a nostalgia thing. I don't think that this is necessarily a better looking game than the Wii remake, but there's something that I just really like about this PS1 style. When developers push the limits of the PS1 and really took the time to think, how can we make a game that works within the limitations of this system, and really, put their effort into creating good art design. He came up with really fantastic looking games, really unique looking games. Like this, Vagrant Story is an obvious example. It pulls all kinds of graphical tricks to look as good as it does. And there, it's a lot of fakery. Flim-flammery, if you want. And I love that kind of thing, when developers are like, how can we trick people into thinking that we're, making the hardware do things it can't do? So now I have to remember how to fight this boss. Spiked balls. That's it. I throw the king at the fish. While avoiding all the crap that they do. Yeah, this is really giving me like Wario Land moments. Although the music is way better than Wario Land. Take that, fish. The thing I'm not super crazy about is the way the camera panning makes it kind of hard to see behind you. Like I keep having to kind of watch out for those stupid spike ball things. But yes, I'm doing okay. Oh, and I just killed the little fish's mom. I'm a horrible monster. And that guy's back. We are down to the last 15 minutes of this hour-long stream. In case you are joining late, I'm Jeremy Parrish, and this is Klonoa for PlayStation. And I am drinking gin, and you are invited to drink things as well if you like, if it's legal for you to do so. Otherwise, you don't have to. Just enjoy the stream. I'm drinking Bombay Sapphire East, which is kind of like Bombay Sapphire, as the name suggests, but it has, what is it, like lemongrass and pepper or something in it? It has a few different botanicals that give it more of a little bit more of a savory, earthy flavor than standard Bombay Sapphire. If that is the sort of thing you care about. I don't know that many people who care about gin, though. Lots of people care about beer, whiskey, but there's so much variety in gin, so many different flavors, and yet, so few people seem to appreciate it. And that's why I'm here, proselytizing gin and retro video games. It's a very, very tiny niche that I'm filling. So now the water is flowing in the correct direction at a lovely 60 frames per second. Yakko Warner 1990 asks, was Pandemonium 2 a good game despite the bad marketing? I actually don't know. I never played Pandemonium 2 because the bad marketing made me say, I don't know about this. I mean, granted, the character outfits in the first game were not good, but making them, like, angry and sexy in the sequel just, I don't know, that's just not, it's not the way to go. I love this part where the forest is regrowing and everything is bursting up around you. God, I love the look of this game. I love how much care they put into it. Look at that. There's trees and vines, just things flying up everywhere. It's so good. And there's a guy taking a nap in a giant strawberry. What a lazy bum. I want that gem. There we go. So now we have armor shy guy things. I don't know what you call these guys. I used to know, but I don't remember anymore. Nope. Take that, pal. Oh, that was a mistake. Whoops. Thank goodness for conveniently respawning enemies. Oh, he's not taking a nap. He's a captive. My mistake. I was so down on him. Someone mentioned, a few people have mentioned in the chat that this game is worth a lot if you try to buy the original disc. I think the value has come down somewhat, thanks to the release on PlayStation Network, PS1 classics for PSP and PS3. You can buy it for like $6, which has helped, but it definitely is one of the pricier games of the PS1 era. And I think that has to do with the fact that, one, it's a really good game, and two, it was produced in fairly small numbers, and three, I don't think people really necessarily appreciated it at the time. I mean, I can't claim that I was some sort of super insightful genius who recognized its glory or anything like that, because I picked up this game out of a sense of obligation. I was like, oh, I like 2D platformers, and I don't want them to go away, so I'll grab this. And I picked it up, and I didn't really enjoy it. I got, I don't know, pretty much all the way to the end. It was just like, this isn't really doing much. It's not difficult, and I feel like it's just, Yoshi's Island, and so I didn't really think that much of it. But then I came back to it like a year later, and I really, really enjoyed it. I just gave it a second thought, a second chance. That happened with a couple of games of that era. Mega Man Legends is the same way. I played it and was like, this is okay. I'm kind of lukewarm on it. Oh, no, whoa! Just got some troubles there. Anyway, yeah, so this is one that just kind of took time to grow on me. But once I went back and gave it a fair shake, I just love it. It's such a well-made game. It's so thoughtfully crafted. And I can carry balloon guys with me into the next room. Although, I have to get the alarm, so I guess I can't And once again, you have great music, because that's what Namco did, and does, I guess. This was, you know, the era of Mr. Driller, and Katamari Damacy would be along soon. They just did good things. They did happy things to your ears. And I technically own the CD, the soundtrack on CD, except at the time that I picked it up, I didn't realize it was a bootleg, so that's very sad. It's an ever anime, whatever version. So Klonoa Namco did not get my money for this one. Oops. Soundtrack out on vinyl, I will definitely pick it up. Because everyone should own video game music on vinyl, because why not? What a frivolous indulgence. K2 Barn says, time for Wonder Swan works. I tell you what, I'll tell you what I tell everyone. If you can get me a Wonder Swan or Neo Geo Pocket, or even a Game.com with some form of RGB video out, I will tackle that platform. But until then, you'll have to make do with Virtual Boy. Oh, that was not supposed to happen. Just how sassy he is. It's a multi-part process. Now we need another guy to throw. Man, actually, how is that going to work? Now we are getting into the puzzle aspect of Klonoa. We have to figure out how to get through. Oh, I blew it. The environments are very simple, but complex. Like, how am I supposed to get this guy over there? And I have to use him to jump. Oh, I see. I need to go over and down. Okay. I made a mistake. I feel like I should be able to grab that guy. There we go. So it's not exactly the most complex game in the universe, but there are some interesting little platforming puzzle challenges that you have to master to be able to get through. Oh! I got psyched out by those flying butt balls. That butt ball guy. Looks like we are nearing the end of this stream. It's almost 7 p.m. for me. I am old and tired, and I've been working for 12 hours now, so I could use a break. And some food. Food would be good. Especially since I'm drinking this gin on a very empty stomach. Whoa, this is really freaking me out. I feel like I should be able to see those in parallax after all that Virtual Boy I've been playing. This minecart is a little more dangerous than the previous minecart, but this is still no Donkey Kong Country. Alright, and we have made it toward the end of the stage, I think. There are more puzzles to solve, more keys to acquire, I guess so. I see an extremely large unit in the back there. Looks like I need a guy to fly from on top of a spring. Good. Oh, I feel like I'm gonna need something to throw at him, but what? That guy, I guess. Okay. Well, there we go. Oh, look at all those gems that I can't have. It's very distressing. So, people really seem to be enjoying the look and style of this game, so I really feel like I need to do more Saturn streams. That's something I will have to prioritize. I need to go through the Saturn library and figure out what's good. I don't really know those games that well, so that is something I will have to take some time to do. Because, you know, I have so much free time. Oop. There we go. Puzzle platforming instincts have not totally failed me yet. Okay, I think we are reaching the end of this here level. And our little weird friend with the extremely large tongue, yikes, is here to show me the way forward with his fork. Jonathan Barnes says this is the Saturn version. No, this is the PlayStation version. It's just Saturn has a lot of games that look like this. So I feel like we need to play more Saturn games on stream. I need to. I don't know why I said we. I guess I meant me and Klonoa. So it looks like we are not going to make it to the extremely sad part of this game, so that's good. I am pleased. I might have to come back and revisit Klonoa sometime, though. Play some more of it. Make everyone cry. Because why not? And I think I'm off to the next stage. Yep. Okay, Vision 3-1 clear. So I will save and call it a night. But thanks everyone who stopped by the stream to watch. I appreciate you taking the time to watch me bumble my way through a fairly easy game. But I'm just going to blame the gin. I'm glad you enjoyed this. I'm definitely going to do more PlayStation streams, and I'll try to do some Saturn streams. Gotta make use of this hardware. And yeah, in the meantime, I will be working on some Virtual Boy Works videos. So please look forward to those, and have a great night. Go enjoy some fine libations.